Hi everyone, welcome. This is my Instagram live to celebrate the release of The Buddha and the Badass. So thank you guys for already embracing this book. It's been out 24 hours. We have already hit the #1 category in several sections of Amazon. And I want to thank all of you guys for following me and for jumping onto this book. So what I wanted to do in this Instagram live is to go through some of the ideas in this book. And for those of you who already purchased your copy, what I want to show you is where to start, how to start, and how to get the best out of this book. We have, we just started and we have 68 people live with us right now. So firstly, hi everyone, hi Wealthy Life 1111, Rito Wilkins, hi Mizanis, hi Ian Geller, hello Yuri Loops. State where you are. I'm always fascinated by people from all around the world. That's amazing. I see people from India, from the United States. This is awesome. Oh, a couple of people asked, how do I get this in India? Well, you can get it on Amazon. Get the Kindle version. Jimmy, guy, nice to see you. Hi, Jimmy Narain. Luminata, so good to see you. Luminita Soviak. By the way, Luminita, you are in the book. Larry Benet from Santa Monica. It's so great to see you, Larry. Larry is an amazing guy. He helped connect me to so many people when I was first getting started. So I'm always grateful to Larry Benet. And I see so many amazing people here. So many names I recognize. So firstly, I may be wearing a swanky jacket right now, but I'm actually just in shorts, okay? This is the benefit of doing live streams from home. So I want to tell you about the book, how to get started, what this book is about. Let's begin with the topic of this book. So I'm sure you guys know who the Buddha is. This book is not the Buddha. This book is about the concept of the Buddha as an archetype, as an avatar. The Buddha represents the spiritual nature within us. Now, can you guess what the badass represents? If you can, leave a comment. But let me tell you as well. The badass represents the disruptor, the person who is not satisfied with the status quo, the person who wants to change things. Maybe even break things a bit, to tinker, to develop, to invent, to create, to move humanity forward. And badasses are as much necessary in the world today as Buddhas. But the thing is, if you are just a Buddha, just the spiritual guy sitting on your meditation cushion or in your amazing yoga pose, it is not enough anymore. But if you're just a badass, nor is that enough anymore. What you want to do is to combine both. So let me give you an idea. Imagine for a moment the great spiritual saints and sages of the world. Jesus, Padmasambhava, Moses, Paramahansa Yogananda. If they were in corporate America, how would they show up? What would Buddha look like if he was a programmer? What would Jesus look like if he ran a non-profit? What would Moses look like if he was a politician? How would they function in the world? How would they show up? That is the question this book attempts to answer. You see, we think, in the words of Ken Wilber, that the great spiritual sages of the world, Moses to Padmasambhava to Jesus, were feeble-minded milquetoast. But they were not. According to Ken Wilber, they were movers and shakers who rattled the world with the force of their ambition. And that is the essence of combining the Buddha and the badass. A lot of people, when I said, who's a badass? They said, oh, the hard worker. They said, Trump. No, the badasses of the world were Jesus. He brought a freaking bullwhip to a temple. The badasses of the world were Muhammad, whose ideas conquered massive empires. The badasses of the world were Buddha, who walked out of a gilded palace to mingle and live with the poor and seek enlightenment under a Bodhi tree. The badasses of the world were the Hindu characters like Vishnu and Shiva, who fought wars and defeated evil. The great spiritual saints and sages of the world were not passive-minded milquetoast. They refused to simply be neutral. They refused to sit quietly and still. They sought to change the world. And that's what this book attempts to do. So somebody said female examples, okay? Great female examples of badasses would be would be Mother Teresa, would be Joan of Arc. These were all people who were highly spiritual, but did remarkable things. Now, here's the problem with the world today, okay? The problem with the world today, and I'm speaking to you if you are looking at the protests which is going on right now, and you're going, well, why are they protesting? It's not that bad. Or why are they protesting? Shouldn't we be speaking of everything with love? Or why is it that Vishen's always criticizing Trump? That's so not spiritual. Well, I beg to differ. So I want to read you a quote. This is a quote from Martin Luther King. I opened up chapter 6 of this book with this quote. It's a really important quote for the time that we're in right now. Any MLK fans out there? If you are a fan of Martin Luther King, or read his books, or adore his ideology, give a shout out. Okay, so let me read this quote. So this is from chapter 6 of The Buddha and the Badass. This book is called Choose Your Mission Wisely, and it opens with this powerful idea. Power without love is reckless and abusive, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. This quote is so remarkable because it has us talk about power and love in a way that is opposite from what many people think. Let me say that again, okay? Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice. And justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. You see, so many people out there believe that to be loving, to be the person who stands for unity, to be spiritual, you have to close your mouth and shut up. Don't speak out against Coca-Cola. Don't speak out against Donald Trump. Don't speak out against police injustice because, you're putting out negative vibes. You're being angry. You're being hateful. Bullshit. The point of what I'm trying to say, the point of this message is that you have to combine love with power. And as MLK said, power is true power is love removing anything that stands against injustice. So there's a famous Jewish philosopher called Adam Kahane who wrote a book called Power and Love, inspired by Martin Luther King. And you know what Adam Kahane said? He asked this question in the book. He said, do you know what is the opposite of war? The opposite of war is not peace. The opposite of war is creation. Peace means abiding by the status quo. Peace means blindly accepting injustice. Peace means not standing up for what you believe in. Peace means allowing people to sometimes keep you suppressed. I don't know if any of you here grew up in Eastern Europe during the communist era. So part of my family is Estonian. When the Soviets took over Estonia, they killed 30% of the population. And they shipped them out to the gulags. My children have family members. My children are half Estonian. They have family members who were murdered by the Soviets. And for a while, people lived in peace. But that peace was a peace where they were pushed down by a really horrible, evil dictatorship. And then in the 89 to 91, countries across Eastern Europe started disrupting the peace. Protesters like Lech Walesa, like the Singing Revolution in Tallinn, brought down the Soviet Union. And that is what happens when the Buddha and the badass come together. You see, the opposite of war is not peace, it's creation. The status quo is not creation. The status quo in the presence of injustice means that you are tolerating and accepting other people being treated unfairly. This is why the protests which are happening today are so important to me. This is why standing up against Trump, the great divider, is so important to me. And this is why I want everyone who claims to be spiritual to also be political, to get into politics, to stand up, to speak out against the great dividers, and to change the nature of human history. When you do that, you learn to combine the badass with the Buddha. Okay? So that is why this book is so important. Now, I've spoken about activism because that is a beautiful emergent force that we are seeing across the world right now. But we can go further. What we can do is bring the Buddha and badass into the workplace. And when you bring the Buddha and badass into the workplace, remarkable things happen. So many people show up as badasses in work. Now, badass doesn't mean, again, it doesn't mean that you're egoistical. It doesn't mean that you're malevolent. It doesn't mean that you're bad in any way. It's an American phrase, like Jen Sincero wrote that brilliant book, You Are a Badass. It simply means that you're willing to stand up for what you believe. You're willing to shake things up. You're willing to build, to create, to push the boundaries. Badasses reinvent the world. And that is amazing, right? But too many badasses break themselves as they do this. They overwork, they drive themselves nuts, they are stressed out, and they struggle in their entrepreneurial journey or in their career. The Buddha and the badass teaches you how to bring the element of the Buddha in that work, how to tap in your spiritual core so the following happens. Number one, you identify why you were born in the first place. I learned this technique from a Sudanese refugee by the name of Dreamer Starlight. You can Google Dreamer Starlight, you'll find this website. The Buddha represents this spiritual core. Now, the first chapter of the book is about identifying why you were born. We call this your soul print. That's Dreamer's words. Dreamer, again, the Sudanese refugee. When you discover your soul print, you understand why your soul chose your body, and you understand the unique gifts that your soul is bringing into the world. And when you identify these unique gifts, you start to apply them to your work. It's a powerful exercise, and to me, it changed my life. So in this book, I guide you through that soul print exercise, so you understand why your soul is showing up in this body. Too many people fail to listen to their soul, and what happens as a result of that is that they end up in jobs, they end up in careers that are out of alignment with what their true gifts are. When you understand what that soul print is, what happens is that it's as if you can snap your fingers and activate magic, activate luck. So that's the first part of the book. But now we go to chapter 2. Now chapter 2 is about attracting your allies. Your soul print is often not perfectly unique. There are people who share the similar soul print. For me, the people who share part of my soul print are the many authors in Mind Valley. And so I partner with them, I work with them, and together we get amazing transformational ideas out. If you followed Jim Quick, if you followed John and Missy Butcher, all of these amazing people in Mind Valley. These are often, yes, someone used the word sacred contract. Yes, in a way, but you want to find these people, and there's a way to find them. It's called the manifesto technique, and we teach that in chapter 2. So far we've covered 2 of these powerful ideas. Now, the thing about the Buddha and the badass is you can dive into any chapter that matters to you. You do not have to go in order. Dive into any chapter that matters to you. But now we come to part 2 of the book. And part 2 of the book is about accelerating the work you do. So I bet all of you have some part of your work or your career that you deeply care about. Maybe it's a book you're writing. Maybe it's the company you work for. Maybe it's the company you're starting. Maybe it's the product or service or code or app that you're building, right? How do you bring your spiritual core into this career of yours, this work, to magnify and accelerate your results? Part 2 of the book looks at 4 ways. The first way is basically through building and getting the right people around you. In today's world, life is so complex, no one can really do it alone. You need teams, you need allies, and this is about how to structure the bonds between these teams. For me, my teams are the teams of Mind Valley authors, the team that's producing Mind Valley, my supporters and advisors and friends around the world. So I have different circles of teams that come together to make Mind Valley reality. So we look at how to create those relationships. The second part of the book is called Mastering Unfuckwithability. So I'm sure you guys have heard of my theories on becoming unfuckwithable. So mastering unfuckwithability simply means having so much belief in your vision and having so much belief in yourself that you don't need everyone to support you. You're okay with criticism. And praise, praise is good, but you don't do anything for praise. Unfuckwitability means you're committed to one thing, to being the best you can be to attain your vision. And you do it despite roadblocks, despite criticism, despite people telling you you're not good enough. So it's a powerful tool to learn. That is chapter 4. Now, when we go to chapter 5 and 6, we look at two other really powerful concepts of really thriving at work. And so again, if you own the book, listen to how I describe this and ask yourself, does this resonate with me? And then jump straight in that chapter. You do not have to read this book in order. So people are asking, what book am I talking about? It's The Buddha and the Badass. This is my new book, okay? The Buddha and the Badass. Now, chapter 5 of the book goes into a concept called make growth the ultimate goal. A lot of people think that their business is about their business. But in the words of my mentor, Sri Kumar Rao, your business is not about your business. The number one thing in your life should always be your personal growth. If your business or your career fails, it doesn't matter. The question is, did you grow? If your business or career take off, it doesn't matter. The question is, did you grow? And we explore this theme in that next chapter. And what happens is that we take that concept of growth and we apply it to your life. Because when you grow, everyone else grows with you. Now, we then come to chapter 6. And chapter 6 is called Choose Your Mission Wisely. I read a quote from chapter 6 earlier by Martin Luther King. And this is why chapter 6 is so relevant for today's era. Chapter 6 is about building companies that are not just there to make a quick buck, but to actually make the world a better place. Now, we then go on to the final part of the book. And the final part of the book is, it was really an add-on. You know, this book was meant to stop at chapter 6, but I decided to add a chapter 7, 8, and 9 because these ideas were really making a massive impact in my life and I really wanted to get them out there. So chapter 7 is called Activate Your Inner Visionary. Chapter 7 is about how to create massive visions that pull you forward and that pull people forward with you and leave the world better off. And an interesting idea in chapter 7 is that the bigger the vision, the easier it gets. That's a quote from Naveen Jain. So we'll explore how Elon Musk thinks, how Naveen Jain thinks, how Richard Branson thinks. Somebody asked, is the book on Amazon? Absolutely. You can get this on Amazon. We then go to chapter 8, which is something called the Unified Brain. And this is basically how to move, think, operate really, really, really fast. Okay, so I use this in principle as I'm running our team at Mindvalley. Our team is around, well, right now it's close to 350 people. It shrunk a little, admittedly, as the world went into quarantine because, you know, it affected our company as well. But I use this to connect deeply with the people in my team and connect rapidly and make important decisions fast. And you can use this too. And finally, we come to the final chapter, which is actually my favorite chapter. It's about identity upgrading. And identity upgrading is where you learn to accelerate your movement towards your goals through a form of self-hypnosis where you change the essence of who you are. See, there used to be a time when I was so nervous talking on stage. I would never be able to do this. I upgraded my identity to become a speaker. There used to be a time when I never thought I could write a book. I upgraded my identity to become a writer. Now, when you upgrade your identity, something really remarkable happens. The universe will respond not to your goals, but to who you believe you are. Michael Beckwith calls this the law of resonance. He says the universe doesn't give you what you want, rather it will give you who you are. It'll reflect back to you who you are. And so when you upgrade your identity, what happens is that the world will respond accordingly. But you can teach yourself to do this using a particular method of self-hypnosis called Lofty Questions. So you'll find that in chapter 9. So there are tons of amazing things in the book. And the book went on sale yesterday, and we really want to make sure that the book has a really good launch week. So check it out on mindvalley.com/Buddha Badass. And here's something that's really, really, really cool. If you go to mindvalley.com/Buddha Badass, there's a special bonus there. So as you know, Mindvalley produces the best personal growth programs in the world. And our biggest program this year is a program called Be Extraordinary at Work. It's a remarkable program where I teach people to completely accelerate their business growth, accelerate their career. It's really the first big entrepreneurship training program ever on Mindvalley. Now that program is $500. It is free if you buy just 5 copies of the book. And it is a remarkable, remarkable bonus. So you can check that out. If you want to check that out, it's on mindvalley.com/work. And if you want to order the book, go to mindvalley.com/Buddha Badass, like the title, Buddha Badass, and you can find the book there. So now what I'd love to do is take questions. I gave you guys a quick idea of what the book is about. I'm actually going to take off the jacket. It's getting a little bit warm here under the camera lights, but I would love to answer any questions you guys have on the book. It's always interesting seeing the comments and seeing who is it that's following you. Well, why would you buy 5? Well, obviously, giving you a free Mindvalley program for 5 is a beautiful ethical bribe. So you would, if you really want to get Mindvalley's biggest program of the year, get 5 copies of the book. Keep 1 for yourself. The other 4, give it to a friend. They're going to appreciate it. Give it especially to friends who are feeling stuck in their career, who want to grow in their career, or your friends who are entrepreneurs. Somebody said, where can I get my hands on a copy if I'm in the UK or in India? Get it on Kindle. Somebody said, is Vishen vegan? I believe that we have to start moving more towards veganism. I'm not there yet. I'm imperfect in that way. So don't judge me, please. I ate chili with guacamole today. But yes, you can buy the Kindle version. Is it coming in Spanish? My last book was translated to 25 languages. Spanish was one of them. I'm pretty sure this book will be in Spanish in a matter of months. Somebody said, can't wait to apply it to my online business. And this is Wellness Loves Vixen. Absolutely. I started out with an online business, and many of the key ideas I learned to grow that business are in this book. So I think this is remarkable if you're an entrepreneur. Somebody said, where are you now? I am in Kuala Lumpur. Oh, and Round the World Man said, how does this build on top of Code of the Extraordinary Mind? For those of you who are just new to following me, the Code of the Extraordinary Mind is my first book. The code looks at yourself, right? Buddha and the Badass goes deeper. It looks at your work. It looks at that project, that work, your career that you're bringing into the world, and how to magnify your ability to get more done in less time. A lot of people are asking for the Spanish version. Mindvalley is huge in the Spanish language at the moment. Our Spanish list is bigger than our English list, so I'm really confident that this book is going to be available in Spanish. Someone is saying, do you use psychedelics? Of course I use psychedelics every now and then. Why wouldn't I? It's such a powerful way to discover hidden aspects of your mind. But safe psychedelics in a safe surrounding. And in a country where it is legal, mind you. Somebody said, I'm from Malaysia. Can I get it here? Yes, on Amazon, on Kindle. Oh, somebody said, does this book have references to the Silva method? Well, I'm currently the face of the Silva method. Jose Silva's family asked me to do that with the Silva Ultramind system. So Silva method heavily influenced the book. The Silva method is mentioned in the Code of the Extraordinary Mind. Is it mentioned in this book? Not so much, no. And that was just that I wrote this book last year before I went deep into creating the new Silva method program. So somebody asked, which psychedelics? Well, pharmacology, really. I'm a big advocate of ayahuasca. I get many remarkable business ideas from ayahuasca. Somebody said receipt number. You get that from Amazon. You know, just when you order something on Amazon, this little receipt number. If you don't have it, just say I don't have it. We're good. We'll trust you. Oh, somebody said if I buy it from Amazon Kindle, would I have to access your programs? Well, look, if you buy 5 books on Amazon Kindle, absolutely. Just put that. We'll trust you. It's based on a trust system. Somebody said, can we use the Silva method to fix the COVID situation? I wouldn't go that far. But there have been studies. There's a wonderful book by Lynn McTaggart called The Power of 8. And Lynn McTaggart talks about group intention and the power of group intention. Lynn McTaggart is a British journalist who who went deep into studying group intention. And she gives really intriguing examples in that book of situations where groups of people came together with a unified intention. And her theory is that the power of that is related to the size of the group in a remarkable way. It's the square of the size of the group. Read The Power of Eight. It's a great book if you want to explore that. Yes, the book is called The Power of Eight by Lynn McTaggart. Somebody said, you speak so good English. Absolutely. Guys, I grew up in Malaysia where English is the second language. I'm the son of an English teacher. Just because I'm brown doesn't mean I cannot speak English. So after you buy the book from Amazon, go to mindvalley.com/Buddha Badass. There's a form there. Let me double check. There's a form there where you can enter your receipt number from Amazon, and you can get the bonuses associated with the book, right? But honestly, just getting the book, there's so much in there. When you get the book, there's a page in the book that it gives you a link. You can go to that link and you can activate all of those bonuses anyway. So don't worry about that. It's in the book itself once you get the book, okay? Yeah, and if you go to mindvalley.com/Buddha Badass, you can activate that. I love that you weird people are commenting on my English. What is this? Do you think because I'm a brown kid in Malaysia, I shouldn't be able to write and speak in English? Okay, a couple of you are asking about the audio version. So I love doing the audio versions of the book, okay? But unfortunately, because of quarantine, the country was shut down. I couldn't fly to New York where I was meant to record the audio version. So I found this amazing British Indian voice artist. So he's Indian like me, but has a really cool British accent, unlike me. And he did the audiobook. So you get to listen to my words through his amazing voice. And I'm sure you're going to like it. But unfortunately, I couldn't travel to record the audiobook. Thank you, Sarah Jolans, for saying you loved the masterclass. Yes, Shalu, live video comments are really, really, really funny. I like that. Oh, somebody said, what do you think of religion? I think religion is wonderful in moderation. Can the book help retired people? Absolutely. Because I think people who are retired have a unique role they can play in the world. When, assuming of course that all your other needs are met, you have food, you have shelter, you have enough money to survive, I think retired people can play great roles as mentors, as advisors. I have many friends who are retired and they're doing amazing work with activism, with mentoring young people. So yes, the book helps with that. People ask, am I Indian? Yes, I'm of Indian ethnicity. Indian is a nationality. So I'm Malaysian by nationality. I'm Estonian in terms of where I reside. I'm American in terms of my heart and my attitude to the world, if you compare it to any other culture. I am Sindhi by ethnicity. But again, none of that matters. I always consider myself a citizen of the world. Thank you, Tanya, for saying that our podcasts are getting you through hibernation. So somebody asked which book. It is The Buddha and the Badass. I guess when I started this live, I should have really put a title, shouldn't I? Can I even do that? I'm new at this stuff, guys. I don't regularly go live. I normally have a social media team who would help me out with this, but it's 11 p.m. here in Malaysia. Rosemary Meadow says, dude, love you. Thank you for calling me dude. I haven't been called dude in many, many, many years, but I appreciate that. Somebody said, was this live saved so I can refer back to it? It's brilliant. Dude, I'm just answering random shit and questions. How is this brilliant? We're talking about why I speak good English despite being brown and why the word dude fascinates me. Thank you for calling it brilliant, though. But I want to ask you to set a higher bar for the Instagram lives that you're listening to. Thank you, Andrea Zoe. I will save the live. Someone said you found me through Jay Shetty. Yes, Jay's a wonderful guy, good friend. I adore the man. He's a great person. Oh, hardcover. When will it be available in the UK? The book is hardcover, which means it is amazing. It's amazing to read. It is also really, really, really good for as a book weight. It's really good for holding paper down. It is. I sometimes use it to balance my tripod. So that's a bonus that you get with the book. How is distance learning going with your daughter? It's going well. She has an amazing teacher, amazing school, and so yeah, she's learning to use Zoom. Like like she came to me recently with an iPad. She's like, "Daddy, can you help me with my Google Hangouts meeting?" And for a while there, like I felt like I was in an alternate universe where 7-year-olds were working at Mind Valley. You say that you're cosmocentric, then why are you so much more excited when somebody joins from US than others? I don't even know what you're talking about. Nowhere here. I can't even tell what countries you're joining from. Thank you for saying you think I have a good heart and am a true gentleman. Oh, somebody said I'm an introvert. How do I learn to speak like you and facilitate meditations? Well, I do want to recommend Speak and Inspire by Lisa Nichols. It's an amazing program. I've taken it. I've actually studied with Lisa Nichols. It's an amazing program on telling your story, on communicating. You can get it on mindvalley.com/speak. Thank you, Lore, for saying how much you value Mind Valley and for its innovation of reality. Sorry, the comments are disappearing really, really, really fast. Mizzy said, I'm Indian too. Wow, that's amazing. Now they're like, I guess 1.3 billion of us. We should totally like do a party together. Somebody says, I feel stuck at my career. Any program at Mind Valley? Absolutely. Go to mindvalley.com/programs. There's a whole category called work that could really help you accelerate your career. Somebody said, I would wish to end my ego sense of I. How can I do that? Don't do that. The ego is an important thing. I want you to Google Ken Wilber, Egolessness. It's a powerful essay. You can read it in about 10 minutes by the great philosopher Ken Wilber. And Ken says this, and I quoted this earlier, the great spiritual sages of the world, from Moses to Jesus to Padmasambhava, were not feeble-minded milquetoast. They were movers and shakers who rattled the world with the force of their ego. And he goes on to talk about how egolessness is not what we think it is meant to be. We need to honor our ego in a way, but use that to change the world as we push it towards cosmocentrism. It's really deep. Ken Wilber stuff is really deep. But Google the essay Egolessness and stop saying you have to get rid of your ego. What you have to get rid of is something I guess you could call being a jerk or being an asshole. And I hope that's not you, right? But your ego is actually a driving force to move you to discover your full abilities and to give your gifts to the world. Thank you, Bashira from Nigeria, for your kind words on Mind Valley. Deepash Mehta says, please sing a song. No, I'm not. Deepash, I'm not your little, like, performance monkey. So, Luminita Sobiak, I adore her. She just said, best part of this is you mentioning Jesus and Moses. Ego is meant to serve God. Exactly. That's why I said cosmocentrism, which to me is moving your consciousness towards godliness, which is the removal of all boundaries between you and everything else, and it is the true aspect of unity. So I'd love to know your thoughts on that, Luminita. Luminita is a brilliant author. She was working at Mind Valley at one point, and she wrote a remarkable book. I wrote the foreword for that book. It's called 15 Things to Give Up to Be Happy. Thank you for commenting me on my voice. Thank you, Hemraj, for saying you really love Mind Valley. somebody said, what are the benefits of managing people through intuition? So I don't really manage people through intuition, but when you practice intuitive guidance, one of the things that happens is that you do get an instinct, you do get a feeling sometimes on what to say to someone, right? Who to hire, who to let go of, who you need to connect with. And it's a very, very remarkable gift. What I find in terms of intuition that often happens is I'll be on a call, an important call, and my intuition will, I'm thinking about saying something or showing a particular spreadsheet, and my intuition will literally say, don't do that. And I try to listen. Someone said he is Malaysian Indian. I'm Malaysian, but the thing is, I'm not Indian. It's really complex. So since so many people are asking, let me explain. My origin is Sindhi, okay? So Indian is a term created by the British. If you actually are from India, you might be Punjabi or Malayali or Tamil or Sindhi. But when the British unified all of the different provinces, they just called it India. But in different parts of India, people are as different as, say, the Germans and the Swedish or the French and the Greeks. India is as diverse as Europe. In India, there are 860 different dialects alone. So to say you're Indian, I think actually hides a great part of different cultural uniqueness. The part of India that I'm from is called Sindh. That's where my grandparents are from a tiny village in what is now modern-day Pakistan. Before 1850, that particular part of the world was part of Afghanistan. Between 1850 and 1947, it was part of India. Now it's part of Pakistan. What does that make me? It makes me Sindhi, because all the other things, Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, were just carved up by the British. There were many different tribes, many different cultures, each with their own unique diversity. So I never say I'm Indian. I'm Sindhi. And I see myself as a global citizen, but I also believe it is cool to honor our own unique aspects of culture. So no, I'm not really Malaysian Indian. I am Malaysian. And that's it. You just stop there. So, yeah, so I see a lot of people commenting on, so somebody said, we want to see you with Sadhguru. I was just talking to his team and they gave me some amazing meditations, which I'm experimenting with right now. So I'm discovering Sadhguru's meditations. What is the name of the essay about ego? It's by Ken Wilber. He's coming on to Mind Valley. We are bringing out his new program in a few months. The essay is called Egolessness. Egolessness. Check it out. It's a really beautiful essay. Somebody is saying, two people have already asked, what do you advise students? So many things, guys. But what I'd say is, read the damn book. It's in the book, Buddha and the Badass. That is 350 pages of advice to students, okay? Right, Shambhavi, nice to have you in the Silver Ultramind group. Somebody said, do I speak Malay? Ya, saya boleh cakap bahasa Melayu. Saya ada, I was going to say, well, it doesn't make sense if I speak in Malay and only like one person there understands it, but I spent 6 years in a Malay school, a government school in Malaysia. So I can speak Malay, which is a language that's spoken in Indonesia, in Malaysia, in Bali. It's my second language. I studied French, but I failed at it. And then studied Russian, but I failed at it. I just don't do languages that well. Somebody said, are you going to read this question? I just did. Who's 9? Somebody said, what do you think of defense companies? I would not invest in them. Not at all. I think the world spends way too much money on defense, which is really offense, right? If we took all of that money and we put that into, and I know I sound like a total like hippie saying that, but if we put that into feeding the poor, we put that into human rights, the world would dramatically change. So screw that. If one of the biggest things I'd like to see the next American president do is cut the defense budget by half and continue cutting, and reinvest in infrastructure, in food, in health, in education, invest in healthcare. It's just stupid, absolutely damn stupid how much we spend on defense. Don't even get me started. I do appreciate what countries like Costa Rica did, where they completely dismantle their entire defense infrastructure and put it into education. Somebody said, is happiness about distraction and fooling oneself? Depends on the type of happiness. There are 3 types of happiness. Somebody said, are you planning A-Fest in Delhi, India? No, we can't. There are many reasons why. There are particular formulas we use to choose the location. Delhi, India, probably not anytime soon, but we just expanded Mind Valley to China. I'm really excited about that. And next we're expanding Mind Valley to India, and I'm super excited about that. So you're going to be seeing a lot more Mind Valley in India. Somebody says, Vishen, I see you read so much, your eyes are telling. What do you mean? Are they red? How do you know I read so much by looking at my eyes? On Instagram, with a freaking light shining on me. Actually, I do wish I read more. I'm trying to speed up my reading speed. Somebody said, are you planning A-Fest in Pakistan? No, but we will be expanding Mind Valley to Pakistan eventually. There'll be other events happening in Pakistan. You know where our next big event is happening? Armenia. We're actually doing a massive event in Armenia. So I'm pretty excited about that because I've never been to Armenia. Loki Slive said, just started listening to the Code of the Extraordinary Mind this week. It's amazing. Thank you so much. I hope you get the second book too. Somebody said, what are your core values? It's 3 things. Now, I don't do core values. I do what I call foundational values. That is described in chapter 1 of The Buddha and the Badass. My 3 foundational values are unity, transformation, and envisioning. Unity means standing up for unity across all races, all cultures, all religion. Transformation means really investing in your personal growth. It's why I all the books back there are personal growth books. And envisioning means building cool things. I love building things. It doesn't feel like work to me. It feels like a game. So we've gone 45 minutes. This was supposed to be 20, but I wanted to just hang around and answer questions because I had more than I should have drank in terms of coffee today. So I'm wide awake at 11:45 p.m. So firstly, I'm going to cut down on coffee. Secondly, I'm going to start going to bed. I appreciate you guys and I love these questions. And I am going to say goodbye now. But I have to remember, my team is going to kill me if I don't mention the book again. It's called The Buddha and the Badass. The Buddha and the Badass. And you can find it on mindvalley.com/Buddha Badass. And the Jason Goldberg just joined. Guys, you got to check out this dude, Jason Goldberg. He is one of the greatest Jewish rappers in history. Check him out. Hey, Jason, you want to come on live just for fun? Jason, comment. I totally put you live right now, Jason, if you're there. Okay, all right, Jason, I'm making you live. Jason, don't give me that I love you, bro crap. Just tell me that you're going to come on live so I can make you live. No, I was kidding about Jason being a Jewish rapper. He is, but Jason is also a teacher on Mind Valley's EverCoach. He's a brilliant teacher. He produced a program on Mind Valley EverCoach on creating online courses. He's also the host of A-Fest, and he's a brilliant, brilliant guy. But he is also... So, Jason, you have to request. So I want to put you in my live video. Let me figure this out. Oh, there we go. So this should be fun.
Dude! What is up, man? I was on your MySpace live. That's why it took me a while for me to get over. I'm sorry, I was still over there waiting for you to go live, but I'm glad that you made it here. Dude, I'm so excited for this book. You have no idea. I actually remember you talking about the Buddha and the Badass when we were at a dinner party in Estonia in 2018. And I'm so excited to see it come to life now. This book is going to be so freaking badass, dude.
That is awesome, Jason. Hey, dude, people are asking me to sing. I can't sing, but you can.
You think I can sing? You're giving me a lot of
Can
credit.
you
right
rap?
now.
Can you sing? Can you entertain us? Because I think I'm starting to bore people. All I'm doing is reading out comments.
Dude, but people love you. This is great. People are asking great questions. Can you beatbox and I'll rap?
All right, let's do that. Okay.
Okay, go ahead,
I even got a mic as a prop here. Okay.
Beautiful. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna beatbox. Jason is gonna rap. Okay. All right. Okay. I've never beatboxed before, but I think I've seen it on TV, and I think it goes something like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Check. Yeah, I'm here with my man Vishen. He's on a mission. He got the Buddha and the badass. Use decision to buy it. You should do it now. Don't deny it. You should try it tonight. Just order it on Amazon. Or actually don't do that. Go to mindvalue.com. You should do that because you'll get bonuses and it's real cool. You're going to love it. Take it to the school. Teach all the students every single unit. That's in the book because they're going to be shook until they take a closer look and they grow their life. Then they can do whatever they want. No strife. Yeah. I lost it. That was it.
That's great. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
People were showing up for wisdom, and what they got is this like Indian Malaysian dude trying to beatbox at the same time, and a Jewish guy trying to rap.
Dude, you did really good. I'm actually very surprised at how good of a beatboxer you are. You should have called it the Beatboxer and the Badass.
Okay, wait. Commercial break. Buddha and the Badass. That's the book. Buy it. Mindvalley.com. Buddha Badass. You guys know what to do. Okay, back to our conversation. It's good to see you again.
It's great to see you. And I want to tell everybody here, if you screenshot this live right now and you put it on your Instagram stories and you tag me and you tag Vishen, I'm going to pick 5 people and buy them a copy of the Buddha and the Badass and ship it to them. So if you want a copy for free, 5 people, I'm going to do it. Just screenshot this live, put it on your stories, tag Vishen, tag me, and I'll pick 5 of you and give you the gift of the Buddha and the Badass.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. That's really nice of you, Jason. Guys, check out Jason Goldberg. Follow him. He's actually a teacher on Mindvalley. If you want to learn how to, so Jason teaches on EverCoach. Go check out evercoach.com. It's a Mindvalley company that trains coaches. And Jason teaches people how to be better coaches, but he also teaches people how to put together really amazing online courses. So if you want to teach online, you want to follow this guy. And by the way, so many of you are asking if we will bring A-Fest to India. Because I have a huge following in India, Jason, obviously, because I'm. But what do you think? You're the host of A-Fest. Like, you're the freaking host. You think we should do A-Fest in India?
Dude, I would love for you to do A-Fest in India. And I think that me and Mia together rocking the stage and hosting A-Fest in India would be absolutely amazing. The question is where in India? So do we have to listen to Ajit and go to Jaipur? Do we go to Delhi? Where in India would we do it?
I would totally do Jaipur.
I'm down for that, bro. 1000%. Let's do it.
Okay, awesome. So guys, so we are going to start looking at an A-Fest in India. Okay?
Amazing. You heard
but
it
only
first.
If you buy the book, guys. I'm literally going to check Amazon. I'm going to see how many people from India buy the Kindle version, okay? And India has 1.3 billion people. And if you can get 100 million of your countrymen to buy the Kindle version in the next 48 hours, we will bring A-Fest to India. 100 million? I don't know. Like, how do we calculate? India has a lot of people. 1.3 billion, right, guys?
Is it 1.3 billion?
I think it's 1.3 billion.
Wow.
Is there like an email list where we can email everyone in India?
I mean, there probably
okay, maybe 100 million is like crazy, guys. If you get we'll make it really easy. If you guys get 1 million people in India to buy the book in the next 24 hours, Jason will convince my team to bring A-Fest to India. Okay,
I'm in. I'll do it. Even if I have to dance or rap or sing or beatbox or maybe even strip, whatever I have to do, I will convince the team. Actually, no, that would have the opposite effect. We will convince the team if you guys do that.
Awesome. Awesome. So thank you for joining me, Jason. You were a wonderful guest. This Instagram Live is going so much weirder than I expected. My team told me to just read, just share wisdom from the book. But here's the problem. Before this Instagram Live, I was watching Trading Places, the Eddie Murphy movie, Eddie Murphy. And I think I may have had a glass of wine or something.
You may have.
As I was watching TV. And then I should never drink before going on Instagram Live.
Or you should always drink before going on Instagram Live.
I don't know. I'm going to split test this. I'm going to see how many followers I lose after this one. I lost 0.33% of all my followers when I criticized Donald Trump.
That's all. Well, if anybody has started following me and they love Donald Trump, go ahead and unfollow. It can be really quick. Let's get it done now.
Yeah. So, anyway, it's fun to have you here, Jason. Where are you right now? Are you living in your car? Has times been that hard for you?
I'm about to go into WeWork. I'm like literally across the street from Ajit's house, so I'm in Playa Vista.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. That's really, really, really cool.
Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining in and rapping with me.
Yeah, man. I'll see you soon, bro. Congrats again on the book.
Awesome. Awesome.
Right. Later,
Thanks,
man.
guys. Thanks for following. All right. Thank you, Jason. All right, guys. Check it out. mindvalley.com/Buddha Badass. And I hope you love the book. And if you have read the book and you like the book, definitely share it with your friends. Leave a review on Amazon or Goodreads. I appreciate all of you guys. I know we went completely off a tangent, and surprisingly, we still have 518 people watching right now. That's crazy. So thank you all. I'm gonna go to bed now. I kid you not. It is 11:54 p.m. and I always talk about the importance of sleep, and I'm breaking my own rule here. All right, take care, guys. This is a real goodbye. Unless another cool friend of mine shows up and then I bring them on. I'm just waiting. Nope, my friends have abandoned me. Jason, after they saw what I did to Jason Goldberg, making him go live, all my friends who were watching this have completely tuned out. Luminita, are you still there? If you are Luminita, I will bring you live. I'm warning you. You better tune out right now. Okay, good night, guys. Take care. Bye.